we are not our brain. It's that we are not our thoughts. And I brought a whiteboard. I'm going to show you guys that in a second.
We love math.
You love math?
We like math.
It's not math, but cognitive diffusion should be taught in the first session of any therapy session ever, and most therapists don't teach that. I want people to know when they start their emotional and mental focus fitness journey, over time, everything gets easier. And this is the only way to break it. If you spend time on the old patterns, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Welcome back to 80/20. My name's Georgia Sinclair, and this is
Shanina Shark.
And we are filming at the beautiful Spring Place in Beverly Hills. Now, we have a very special guest today. Today's guest blew up on TikTok by sharing how he overcame his own mental health challenges using different techniques he learned. And boy, does he have a lot of great information to share with us. His name is Star Jesse Taylor. Welcome to 80/20, Star.
I appreciate it. I'm really excited to be here.
We are very excited to have you. Now, a lot of people might know you from TikTok, but for those who don't, tell us how you got onto TikTok, the type of stuff you post about, and why.
Yeah, so 10 years ago, I started having problems with OCD, and it got stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And in 2020, I always loved making videos. But in 2020, TikTok came out. And it was more this free creative platform where people just were themselves. First, it was a dancing app, but people also posted their inspirations, what they learned, shared it with people. So I started sharing spirituality, OCD, ACT therapy, and ERP therapy. And people really loved the tools that I shared, and it helped them. So that's how I blew up in 2020. Also, I used to be an Uber driver. I used to drive Lyft. I used to work with kids. And in 2020, you couldn't drive anymore. So, or it was really low driving. And then I would just sit in my car in Venice and make video after video after video, and it worked out.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing.
You're an expert now, kind of like a mental health expert, would you
Through
say?
my own experience. I do truly believe that I'm an expert, but based on I never went to school for it, not at all, but I changed my own brain. And for years. And this is, if people have OCD, ADHD, BPD, this is such a hard, challenging things. These are hard things that have come up through patterns, through traumatic past things, but we can change these things. And a lot of people say, oh, you cannot change ADHD. It's not true. You cannot change OCD. It's just in you. You're just that kind of person. It's a lie. And the biggest problem here is that many people identify, and it becomes their friend. It becomes like kind of their protection. A lot of people don't want to get rid of it anymore because it's their new identity.
Wow.
Because they like put it in your profile. But for the people who do want to get rid of it, you can. And it's with doing different behaviors inside of your head and outside of your head. This is what acceptance and commitment therapy and exposure and response prevention therapy is about. It's about changing your behavior inside of your head and outside of your head. And we can talk more about how to do that if you guys want to.
Wow,
Yeah,
of course.
I'm really excited about this interview and excited to meet you and excited to learn from you because I am diagnosed severe OCD, ADHD. And I understand what you mean about it becoming your identity because even though I carried a lot of shame around it for a long time, especially in childhood because, well, actually my mom did me a favor. When I was diagnosed with the OCD, she didn't tell me till I was an adult. But I always kind of knew there was something off about the way I interacted with the world in comparison to some of my friends. But when I eventually did find out and was diagnosed properly, I remember the doctor said to me, well, I've got good news and bad news. He said, the bad news is you have ADHD, but the good news is that means on the right side of your brain, you're like a genius. Just the left side of your brain doesn't work. That's what he said to me. But I remember thinking, okay, so if the left side of my brain's not working properly, then, that means I'm the dumb kid at maths, science, all of the left brain kind of things. But it's funny, as I've gotten older and I think I've let go of that identity a bit less, I'm actually pretty good at math. I'm really good at addition and that kind of thing. So I'm really interested to learn from you the different techniques that you use to overcome your ADHD and your OCD.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. One thing that I'm so passionate about is cognitive diffusion. And it sounds like such a big word, cognitive diffusion, but it's really simple. It's the differentiation between you and your brain. It's that we are not our brain. It's that we are not our thoughts. And I brought a whiteboard. I'm going to show you guys that in a second.
We love math.
You love math?
We like math.
It's not math, but cognitive diffusion should be taught in the first session of any therapy session ever, and most therapists don't teach that.
No.
The importance of it is that most people are identified with their thoughts and emotions, with their identities.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of identities. I'm Persian, I'm Latino, I'm I'm Christian, I have ADHD, I'm just a shy person.
Yeah.
I'm just an outgoing person. Whatever identity, whatever you guys think about right now that you think of yourself can become a limiting factor in your life. But also, it can affect the therapy sessions. And the reason for that is if you just think, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready yet to do a podcast, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready yet. It's actually not true that you're not good enough. It's not true that you're not ready yet. The thoughts say that you're not good enough. The thoughts say that you are not ready yet. And that comes maybe somewhere in childhood. I got bullied for 7 years. Other people had traumatic experience where they got abandoned from their mom or something like that. And then they come, I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable. Maybe relationships, whatever. But they then think that's me. I'm not good enough as a person. I'm not good enough to make a podcast. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good at math enough. I'm not good at whatever to make the podcast. But really, it's the thoughts say that. And the thoughts regurgitate themselves constantly. And here's the thing. The more you spend time on these thoughts, the more, for example, you avoid making a podcast because of the thought that says you're not ready yet, you're not good enough. You're actually feeding that pattern because the brain is like, we must not be good enough because we're not doing the podcast. So this is a righteous belief system that I'm going to continue give. And this is one of my most popular videos, is the language of the brain as behavior. So as long as we're showing the brain that these belief systems are necessary, that these thoughts are necessary by talking back. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're in a relationship and there's a feeling of jealousy coming up in your body. And the brain says, because maybe the boyfriend texted a too short text message, right? It's too short. And a feeling of insecurity or jealousy comes up in your body and the brain says, what if he cheats on us? And in the moment you identify with that thought, yeah, what if he cheats on us? You're trying to fix that thought. And then you're trying to go on your phone, go on his story on Instagram by trying to check on the story if he's doing appropriate things.
Okay.
Right? By you doing that behavior, you feeding the pattern of jealousy. So the only thing how to break these patterns is to learn the practice of being okay with uncomfortable emotions, because the brain is keeping us, trying to keep us from danger, because we learned these patterns as safety mechanisms in our childhood. Oh, if I'm gonna express myself, I get bullied. Right? If I'm gonna speak up, if I'm gonna do a podcast, I might get bullied. So the brain's like, okay, from now on, I'm gonna protect you. If you get older and you wanna do a podcast, the brain's like, no, remember when you got bullied? And the brain, this is the craziest things. The brain is not logical. The brain gives you anything you reacted to.
Wow.
So it knows if you react to guilt, if you react to anger. That's why some people react more to guilt, some people more to anger, some people more to that thought, some people more to that thought. And the brain will give you anything for you to not to do that podcast.
Yeah.
That's why to break those patterns, we have to start a practice, and I teach this in an easy way, step-by-step way, a practice of being okay with those uncomfortable emotions, and then showing the brain with our behavior, acting on the valued actions of doing the podcast mindfully. The reason why mindfulness is so important is even if you do the actions of doing the podcast, if at the same time the brain says, oh, we're not ready yet, and then you go, oh yeah, we're not ready yet, maybe I should wear a better dress, maybe I should just wait off, maybe I should read another book about making a podcast, you are still spending time in your head on the pattern. So you can feed these patterns inside of your head or outside of your head. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Makes total sense.
Yes, it really
Total
does.
sense. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all guilty of feeding our
All the time.
patterns from trauma most likely from our childhood. And I was talking about this in a recent episode. I went to Hoffman. I was talking about the safety mechanism our brain creates because it's a safe environment and that's all we know. So it's going to keep you safe in a cycle because it doesn't want to learn anything new because it's more energy and that's considered unsafe, right? Learning something new and we also just don't know how. So what's the first step of controlling these emotions or like moving away from the negative emotions?
The first step, because some people will be like, oh, but this panic attack, this fear of abandonment is too big. I cannot just like be okay with it. I need to fix it. I need to vent with my friends and family. A big understanding I want people to have is all emotions are connected, which means think about emotions like weights. Boredom, it's like 20 pounds. It's not that heavy. Boredom, we can handle boredom, right?
Yeah.
Maybe fear of abandonment is like 200 pounds for that person. Or
Makes sense.
jealousy is like 400 pounds or whatever for you, right?
Yeah.
But the thing here is, if we wake up in the morning and the brain says, oh, we're bored or we have a little bit of anxiety, we want to fix it, I don't like this feeling, let me just grab the phone and scroll on social media to get the feeling to go away. We don't even practice with 20 pounds. We don't even practice with the boredom or the little bit of uneasiness. So how in a relationship are you going to have the emotional fitness to be able to, when jealousy comes up, not be reactive and scream at your partner, or when any other emotions come up? These are just being reactive, being a slave to the brain. And we want to learn how to be proactive, to be the boss of the brain, to use the brain as a tool for us, because it's supposed to be our tool. But for most people, it's their boss, because the brain knows any thought that you react to. It knows the thoughts and the emotions you guys react to.
It knows you.
It knows you. It has a data bank. It has an entire data bank of the connection of thoughts, pictures, memories you're going to react to. And it will use anything at any moment for you to stay safe. Those things aren't logical, but the problem is that people identify as if they are logical. And then they truly believe that they're not good enough. I'm not ready. I can't do the podcast, all of those things.
Based on experience.
Yeah.
And based on the society. Our society is teaching you, as soon as you have anxiety, oh, there's something wrong with you, you need to fix it.
Yeah.
As soon as you have like depression, anger, you need to fix it. The problem here is, the funny part is by fixing it, by trying to fix it, you actually create excessive anxiety and eventually depression. And this is what no one talks about. And I'll give you like a really simple example.
Well, I had depression last year, so this is like crazy for me to hear.
So maybe this example helps a lot. Think about you living in a house. And you have too many chairs in the house.
Okay.
It's full of chairs. Like there's so many chairs in the house. You have like thousands of chairs in the house. And like, I can't even live anymore. I have too many freaking chairs in the house. I need to get rid of these chairs. So now you're like throwing chairs on the lawn, you're throwing chairs outside, you're throwing chairs out the house, out the door, you keep throwing chairs out the house because you want to get rid of them. The brain looks at this and it only looks at your behavior. It doesn't understand, hey, Georgia, Shanina, I'm saying your name
Shanina,
right.
yes.
Shanina, they want to get rid of the chairs out the house. The brain only looks at your behavior, which your behavior is you're throwing chairs. You're throwing chairs out the house.
Yeah.
And the brain's like, Shanina loves throwing chairs out the house.
Oh,
Shanina,
no.
Shanina, I'm your brain. I'm your best friend. I want to support you in throwing chairs out the house.
Okay.
But you're running out of chairs. Okay, let me go to the lawn, bring the chairs back in the house. Let me go to IKEA, build some chairs, bring them all into the house. You have more chairs to throw out of the house because that's what you love.
Oh.
Now substitute chairs with thoughts and anxiety. If you're trying to throw out anxiety, if you're trying to throw out certain thoughts, if you're trying to get rid of them, the brain is like, oh, you love fixing thoughts.
Yeah.
You love the healing journey. If you always want to heal, the brain will bring you more opportunities
To heal. Oh, no.
Yeah, this really speaks to me a lot because I feel like there's been so much, especially online, about, I feel like it's almost become like a trend to get into the healing
Healing journey.
phase of your life. You know what I mean? Except that healing phase seems to last for a bloody long time. It's also relatively new. Like, I feel like in the last few years is when it's really popped up that everyone's like, well, I'm just, I need to heal. I'm in my healing phase. But I feel like people are getting stuck in there. I mean, and clearly for the reason that you just talked about, I feel like I've been guilty of that in certain stages of my life. And eventually I realized, and I hope other people do too, you actually have to live your fucking life.
That's right.
You
That's
have to
right.
pull
Because
yourself out of
we're
it.
doing the healing to live our lives.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So what do we do? Do we sit on the chairs? Like
Well,
just do, like
No.
Do we pull out an axe?
I wanted to approach, because you said something really, it's like a self-help addiction, right?
Yes.
Because it's way easier to say, I'm going to read another book about how to get ready to do a podcast, or I'm going to read another book about the law of attraction, which those things can be great tools if you apply them. But it's way easier to do all of that than face the anxiety and the thoughts of, the judgments of others if I do the podcast or if I build my business, or the thoughts of not being good enough. But actually, if we practice, because our focus is our superpower. If we shift our focus mindfully to doing the valued actions, we show our brain with our behavior that we don't care about the old patterns anymore. But our brain's not going to like it in the beginning. It's going to be like, no, you're running on the street, little baby. You'll be in danger. It's dangerous.
alert, it goes into like shock mode, like alert.
Gives you all kinds of thoughts, even crazier thoughts, for you to not do it.
Oh wow.
It will give you anything for you to stop. But that's why cognitive diffusion is so important. It's important to know that it's just the thoughts. And it's important to know that uncomfortable emotions don't kill you. And that you're not supposed to fix it like society is always telling you need to fix anxiety, you need to fix those things. We actually want to learn how to be stronger with emotions, which creates emotional fitness, which actually in the long run is what everybody wants. You have more emotional fitness, which means the anxiety from before, the 20 pounds, is so small because you're now able to lift 200 pounds.
I see.
Yeah.
That's what but you said, tell me again what you said earlier.
To sit on the chairs.
What should we do? Should we just sit on the
what should we
chairs?
do? Should we sit on the chairs? What do we do?
It's an imperfect analogy because in reality, you, of course, want to get rid of the chairs in the house.
Yeah.
But you want to shift from being reactive to the chairs to being proactive to the valued actions that support your life. We want to change from being reactive because our brain's language is behavior. The more you spend time, look, you cannot control the thoughts that come inside of your head.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
But you can control if you are talking back. Your superpower is your focus. You cannot control the thoughts. You know they come way too fast.
Yeah.
You cannot control the thoughts that come inside of your head. You can control if you're talking back.
How do you control talking back?
Your focus is your superpower. You are the observer. How do you know you're not this phone?
Because I don't look like it. I don't know.
How do you know you're not this phone?
Because I'm not a phone.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Shanina.
You can observe it.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about your thoughts?
About the phone?
No, can you tell me about your thoughts? Can you tell me about your emotions?
I'm getting good at it.
So you can observe them. We can build the capability to observe them.
I think the problem is like in the past, I'm like, or even for me, my experience is like not talking about my emotions because we're unable to know like the vast majority of what emotions are. Everyone's like, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm sad.
Yeah.
But there's just so many other emotions and we're not verbalizing it. And people don't ask us how we're doing as well. I feel like that's another thing. But
Or they might, but it's not mindful.
it's not mindful.
They don't actually care.
Yeah, well, we live in a world where we have a survival instinct and we care about ourselves first and foremost and our community and then the bigger things. But so a lot of people come at me, they're like, oh, you cannot just do value. That's like suppressing emotions. We have to talk about them. We have to. I never talk about suppressing, but I also don't talk about expressing. There's a middle line. It's accepting the emotions, which means you allow them, they're allowed to be there, but you spend time on trying to fix them, trying to figure them out. You allow them to be there. It's like a little baby that screams, like the little child in you, basically. Got hurt somewhere in childhood, got bullied, it got hurt, and now you want to go to a social event, and the little child screaming, no, they're gonna hurt us. We're not good enough. We're not good enough. You got to be the adult now. You are the adult now. You got to take care of that little child. Take that little child by the hand and say, it's okay, I know you got hurt. We can feel this uncomfortable emotion. And we're going to that event. And the more times you take that child to that event, over time, because people always want a quick fix, it never works. Over time, you take the little child to all those things that you care about. At some point, the little child's like, I'm sorry, I was throwing up at you for the last 3 months and screaming at you, but this is not too bad. Nothing happened to us. This is okay. We are confident. We're doing the podcast. We are geniuses.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking me. I'm sorry I threw up at you the last 3 months and screamed at you and yelled at you that you're not good enough. But why are you listening to me? I'm the little child. You're supposed to take care of me. So we are supposed to be the adults.
Right.
And take the little child by the hand.
Right. So real world example, let's just say I've been through a breakup, okay? And I'm very sad, maybe feeling, I don't know, jealous, insecure, not good enough, like all of the range of emotions that one might feel if they've been through a tricky breakup, especially if they've been broken up with, even worse. So you're going through those feelings, and I guess what you're saying is rather than like focusing on those emotions, which perpetuates them, you just have to say to yourself, you know what, I'm feeling sad, that's normal. I'm feeling jealous, that's normal. I'm feeling, insecure, that's normal. Moving on.
Is it a good time to bring
out the whiteboard?
Bring it out.
Let's do the math.
This will be very helpful. So I don't know if the audience can see this well.
Yeah, if they're watching on video, yes.
Yeah? Okay. So this is you, right? And we already talked about cognitive diffusion, that these are kind of the thoughts that usually people identify with.
Okay, so we've got a little stick man in the middle.
Yeah.
And he's in between some thoughts.
Not good enough, not ready yet, don't love myself, I forgot the myself here. And I have to heal trauma first before I can do anything. And then, so these are the thoughts that people a lot of times identify with. And then we have feelings of insecurity, anxiety, guilt, and fear. And all of this, we already talked about this, just to wrap it up, comes from past patterns. This is the reactive side right here. This is the reactive side. The thoughts come in, and we talked earlier, right? We cannot control the thoughts coming in. They come in because in the past we spent time on it. So the brain is just like doing its job. That's what I bring up, because in the past we spent time on it.
Yeah, it's familiar.
Right? Maybe there was trauma somewhere in childhood, and then the child, we're not good enough because mom left. And then the thoughts got more deeper and more specific.
Yeah.
And over time, they got so strong that you just identified, I'm just a shy person, I'm just not as cool as everybody else, etc. So these are the identified thoughts, and these are the emotions. And we cannot control the thoughts coming in, but we can control if we talk back. And if we talk back, we are feeding them, and they get bigger and stronger and more powerful, and you're more identified. Same thing with the emotions. If we, and this is called compulsions, a compulsion is anything you do to control a feeling, to control a thought, to control, to try to avoid a feeling, a thought. Example, let's say you want to go out to a social event and you have a feeling of anxiety. If you now avoid going to that social event because of the feeling of anxiety, you are doing a compulsion, which is you staying at home because of the anxiety. So this is called a compulsion, and with that you're feeling the isolation, but also feeling less good enough and more anxiety, because you show the brain those valued actions must be dangerous because you're avoiding going to do the valued actions. So your brain, I'm your best friend. I want to protect you from the danger. And what are the tools the brain has to protect you? It doesn't have arms. It doesn't have tentacles to pull you back from the social events. It has three things: emotions, thoughts, and bodily sensations. So it can give you panic attack sensations, it can give you depression, it can give you anxiety to keep you from going to those social events. This is how the brain works. So this is the reactive side. You are being reactive to the already existing patterns in your body, which then you're feeding those patterns. Now, by that, you're staying unconscious and you're living your life based on patterns. You're being a slave to the brain. You're staying in your old habits. Nothing is changing.
Yeah.
And this is all based on this error here, which is your superpower, which is your focus. Your focus, I want everybody to remember, is really your superpower.
My best friend.
Your
It's my
best friend, because it's you. And you decide, now, is it easy to focus if your whole life you've been like pulled in by the thoughts and what? No, but same thing with your whole life. You haven't been going to the gym and have only eating Big Macs.
Yeah.
It's not easy to now start working out. But when you start working out, it gets easier and easier. I want people to know when they start their emotional and mental focus fitness journey, over time, everything gets easier. And this is the only way to break it, because if you spend time on the old patterns, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep.
So this side, and trust me, I'm coming to the heartbreak. I just have to because this is also new. You know what I mean?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So this is the reactive side. So the only way we can break this pattern and create new things in our lives is by becoming proactive. And we actually are not going to try to be proactive with thoughts and emotions so much. That's not the biggest key. We want to become proactive with valued actions.
Wow.
Okay, so what are the examples of valued actions?
So in my coaching and my courses, I like to give, just to focus, this is something that, the Value Garden exercise, by the way, by Mark Freeman. Check him out, guys. He has a great book, You Are Not a Rock. Awesome. He's amazing. In my eyes, he should be on Joe Rogan. He's the best mental health person on the internet.
Wow.
I truly believe that.
Great.
But so he made up the Value Garden exercise, and I made up, in addition to the Value Garden exercise, I made up these 7 values for people to focus, to give them an easier way to find their valued actions. Because that's a big question that people say, what are my valued actions?
And move away from like the past patterns.
Move away from the controlling feelings, thoughts and all that. But because by controlling feelings and thoughts, you're just feeding the patterns, right?
Makes sense.
So we going to, so the valued actions, right? I make like usually 6 to 7 valued actions, categories, values, so to say, that everybody uniquely feeds in a way that they want to. It's very much uniquely specific to you, to your life.
Yeah.
What you want to spend your time on, right? It's not like this cookie cutter thing, but
Like you have to hit all 7. It's just like
you will hit all 7 kind of.
Okay.
But the actions that you use are totally up to you.
Okay.
Those 7 is just to focus, but these are not the actions yet. These are just the direction. I explain.
Okay.
So number 1, physical fitness. Everybody should have physical fitness. If you have a body, if you don't have physical fitness, you're dead. You don't have energy.
if you don't have physical fitness, you're dead.
Yeah, you're kind
You're
of
dying.
dead. Like
You're
it's
dying.
not a good life.
Yeah,
You
move
are-
it or lose it. Yep.
But if you don't have physical fitness, you don't have the energy to do podcasts.
Yeah.
You don't have energy.
You don't have the energy to spend your time on what you want to spend your time on.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important. Second, creative expression. I would consider this right here, creative expression. We're doing a pod. So we're
Absolutely.
feeding the garden right now of creative expression right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? 3, romantic relationships. 4, family and friends relationships. Both, I sometimes put them together. Relationships are important in our lives. You don't always have to be in a romantic relationship.
Yes.
Because but as human beings, we are connection beings, and being around people who want your well-being, even just being around people, even if you go to just outside to like a mall or something, can be really useful and helpful.
Yeah.
We kind of give energy to each other. We need people.
Connection.
And people, exact
Yes.
connection.
Yeah.
I love it. When
Yes.
people isolate themselves, not a good thing. We all know that, right? So number 5, relaxation. We all need relaxation. We burn out. We all need, and relaxation could mean to you actually the work rate. This could be relaxing to you. That's why it's unique,
Yeah.
right? It could be mindful walking. It could be meditation. We talk about meditation more because meditation is the number 1 tool to actually break those patterns. And if we got time, I'll teach you guys the meditation that is actually the most effective to build this emotional fitness and to change your patterns.
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we need that.
Business
Yay.
/ money.
Yep.
Yep.
Without money, we don't have freedom. A lot of people in society are like, why are you so obsessed with money? You don't have to be a billionaire,
Yeah.
but you have to have enough for you to have the freedom to do the things that you value.
Yeah.
If
Takes
you
off the
slave away,
stress.
yeah, it takes off the stress. If you slave away
Absolutely.
at some job for like 14 hours that you don't like, you know, and you make a minimum amount of money, you just don't have the health and the freedom. So business / money, and business can be totally connected to your creative expression, right? This
Still
can be a
is.
business. It can support you guys. It can support me. Can support Caleb, who's a cameraman. It supports the audience right now because
Yep.
we're giving value. It's a
Yeah.
win-win.
Yes.
We are supporting everyone right now.
Yes.
Fun. So important. I wanted
course.
to add that as a 7th one. So this is what I teach my clients. Now, these are the values, examples of valued actions. We're going to start with physical fitness, an easy one. Now, when we do the value garden exercise, we have 2 things we want to pay attention to. One, we're going to think of actions that you are already doing to feed your garden of physical fitness, or any of these valued action numbers that we're going to go through. And the second part is we're going to name actions that you want to do, but the thoughts say, the patterns say, we're not ready yet, we're not good enough, oh, maybe we get judged for this, etc. All right? So are you guys up for doing it?
We're in the hot seat. Let's go.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
So physical fitness, we start with an easy one. If you're at home, you can do this at the same time with us. Take a pen and paper. It's such a great exercise. The reason for that, you don't want to just do it in your head because your brain can trick you. You wake up in the morning and the brain says, oh, check the phone. Oh, what did the ex say last time? And you spent an hour ruminating doing this. But if you actually have a whiteboard like this and you have the actions written outside of your head, even on your phone as a reminder, as notes, you get reminded. You have it outside of your head. Your brain cannot trick you. It's harder to trick you.
Okay.
So, physical fitness.
What I
Shanina,
do?
what are you already doing?
Yeah, what
I'll
do
give
you
you some
do,
examples.
Jesus. Okay.
Hot yoga.
Pilates.
Pilates. So you already do Pilates. How often a week do you do Pilates?
At the moment, I'm slacking.
That's what I'm laughing.
Shut up. Well, I just had.
This is good. This is good. Everybody
Yeah.
out there has
no,
like
I've
is
just
resonating
been
with this.
tremendously sick also.
Yeah,
So I was
she
like,
has.
actually, I'm like just trying to keep my, what is it like? Just my body's a temple. I don't want to work out right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Pilates.
How often do you usually do you go?
I would like to do 3 times a week.
You want to go 3 times a week, okay?
Yeah.
3 times a week. What other things are you doing? Could be even, and healthy eating could be part of it. We can even put meditation in it because it's also
I'm a
healthy for your
biohacker.
body. Great, you're a biohacker.
This is so funny because
And what actions does Shanina the biohacker do?
I feel like we should add some context here.
No, it's totally fine. What?
So Shanina, I used to call her the bio slacker because every time I would talk about biohacking, she'd roll her eyes. And then
She's a biohacker.
yeah,
I was rained a biohacker, so I'm a biohacker.
yeah, recently,
Get used to it.
recently, Shanina and I
You're
started
rained
reading
with a
this.
sword.
Yeah.
Reading this book, and
With a
now she's
vegetable.
realized she's an actual biohacker because she lives a healthy life. So there you go.
I do live a healthy life.
Shanina the biohacker. I'm
Yes.
gonna write that on top. Biohacker.
Yay.
Shanina, Shanina.
You got it
Shanina,
right.
I think you got to
Shanina,
put biohacker in
biohacker.
your Instagram bio at this point.
Yes, that's gonna be an instant.
I'm doing it tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
Yes.
profile.
Thank you. But I am. They said I was a biohacker.
Yeah.
And I said they.
All right.
Like
What actions does a biohacker do to hack their bio to support their health?
focus on their health and their their eating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Healthy eating.
Healthy
Here.
eating.
Yes, you do it pretty well.
Yeah.
Healthy
Pretty good.
eating is the second action. Okay, so do Pilates. So I would love to find at least for everybody out there 5 to 6 around that. And this can change. This can evolve and change because sometimes we change our preferences.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you want to do you go to the gym?
No, I don't go to the gym. I think also
you-
physical fitness. I'm sorry, but taking care of my child is physical fitness.
That's going to be that's going to be and if you want to taking care of child, we
He's
can do
very-
that.
he's very
taking
heavy.
care of child, but that will also be in family relationships.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where you do loving actions for your child to live a happy life.
I have a quick question, Star. So
Yeah.
are these things in the garden? Are they things that we are currently doing, or could these be things that we want to do?
No, it's both. You want to
Okay.
write both down because both are part of your life. And then we want to figure out, because we show ourselves that we trust ourselves by doing both.
Right.
Living our lives is the best mental health exercise.
Yeah.
Because while you're doing a podcast that you don't feel ready yet, there's going to be the patterns coming up.
Yeah.
You doing the podcast is you showing your brain that you trust yourself.
Yes. True.
If anybody
Weight
wants
training.
to say it again?
Weight training.
She wants
Weight
to,
training.
She wants to be a
I keep
weightlifter.
saying it, but I haven't done it.
Yeah.
Gym,
Yeah.
how often would you like? 3 times a week?
Oh, like 2.
2?
Yep.
Cool.
In between your Pilates.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
nice. It's nice.
That'd be great.
That's a good amount of right here.
Okay,
Let's go
anything?
to
Are you going to meditate?
Meditate.
Yeah, add that in
meditation.
there. I
And
think she
Yeah.
needs
by
it.
the way,
I need
everybody,
it.
I think she needs it. She's a mess.
She really needs it.
Help.
I'm going to teach you that meditation because it's really helpful.
Yay.
Yeah.
By the way, some of these categories can have double, triple, because let's say you love playing volleyball with your friends and family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you're supporting family and relationships because you're
Is-
playing volleyball.
is
You
sex physical fitness?
Yeah, we can do sex.
Add it in
if
there.
you want. But it also would be fun. And it would also be
Is it?
romantic.
Relationships.
And it
Yeah.
would be also romantic relationship.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's an
that's a
action.
good one.
And with sex, a lot of people don't understand, it's actually also an action to give the partner. And it's two people come together who kind of like want the same amount of sex, like
Yeah.
the value. And it's something that supports the relationship. And here's something that triggers probably a lot of people out there. Sometimes you can have sex even if you don't feel like it, because it's a loving action that supports the relationship. I'm not saying every time, but I'm saying if some people are like, no, how can you say that? It's the foundation of act therapy to say, just for everybody to know, you not feeling like it can be the same feeling of you not feeling like going to the gym, you not feeling having sex, you not feeling doing this or
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I think I kind of get that because I'm
agree.
understanding the sense. Sometimes maybe I don't feel like having sex or like not doing it. Maybe there's also like a stigma of like image. Like I don't want to have sex because I don't like how I look, or I don't feel
Could
good
be.
enough, like or worthy enough.
And then you focus
Yeah.
on the patterns instead of
Yeah.
you bring your focus on giving love to your partner, enjoying it, coming back to mindfulness, and that's a practice. And people, they're always like get triggered when you talk because it's like such a stigma subject with people. No one should push me. I'm not saying like push
Yeah.
you, but I want
No.
you to look at it's not a different pattern than not feeling like going to the gym, not feeling like having sex, not feeling like most of the time doesn't mean your intuition. You cannot even know your intuition if you constantly identify it with your patterns because you don't have any clarity.
Yeah.
So if you have the feeling of not feeling like it, a lot of times it's just your brain like pulling you in on a pattern.
Yes.
I see.
And here's something that happens with
what would be a pattern that is attached
relationship
to,
OCD.
to what would be a pattern that will be attached to like sex, like someone not wanting to have sex? You think?
Yeah, so for example, relationship OCD happens a lot. It happens as a good example when people constantly check, am I in love still with this person? Am I still in love with this? The more you actually check if you have a feeling, the less you have the feeling. And then people think, oh, I'm not in love anymore with this person. Then they might end the relationship. But it really was their engagement with that feeling. Because here's the thing. Okay, I'm going to explain this with maybe a subject out of sex so people can focus a little bit more. Confidence. Let's say confidence.
Yep.
If you like, I can only do it. So let's say I'm insecure and I can only do a podcast if I'm confident. I need this certain feeling of confidence. It's so important. I need it. Your brain's like, okay, so I want us to be safe. So we can only have this feeling of confidence, okay? So I'm gonna make sure that you are not doing this podcast if you don't have this feeling of confidence. So I'm gonna look for all the reasons why we are not confident. I'm gonna look for all the reasons, all the thoughts, all the judgments that could be out there why we shouldn't feel confident.
Supporting-
we feel
supporting
too
the
fat,
feeling.
we this, we that. Yes, and the brain is then, and then you never feel confident.
This makes a lot of sense.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing if you always look for a feeling to feel like having sex. I need to feel like this is all connected. I want people to know that this is holistic. This is all connected. Does it make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And what you said before about, the analogy you made about the gym made a lot of sense to me, because it is quite often that you don't feel like going to the gym to work out. But how often do you regret a workout? Like once you've actually
Never.
worked out. I feel like sex is kind of the same thing, because, you might be, and I know you said it can be controversial, and I understand why, but I think it's actually quite normal. Like often when you get, especially in a long-term relationship, especially with how busy we get in life, you're often too tired, or you're too this or you're too that, but it's been a few days and you're sort of thinking, oh, look, I don't want this to go too long, but I'm really just not feeling it right now for no other reason than I'm just tired. And then you might think, but my partner really wants it. I'm just going to suck it up and do it. And then you get into it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, damn, like I just remembered why I love this so much.
Yeah.
And then you finish and you're like, that was awesome.
And it's
You
the
know what I mean?
connection
So
that
it's
you
like the
have with
same
your
thing.
partner as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if you avoid it, and then the brain comes in and it's like, oh, maybe I'm not attracted to my partner anymore. The
Yep.
thoughts come in, and it's really relationship OCD. It's you being reactive to the patterns. That's why emotional fitness is so important for everything. It's the
Yeah.
foundation of everything.
Whereas if you took the action, it's a totally different outcome.
Mindfully. And the importance
Yeah.
here is taking the actions mindfully. And we could talk so much more about mindfulness, but if you, at the same time doing the action, still spend time on the patterns in your head, you're still feeding the patterns. That's why
Yes.
mindfulness is so important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Georgia,
Okay. So physical fitness.
physical fitness,
Okay. So I lift weights.
gym.
Yep. Gym. I go to the gym.
Provider.
I stretch. I try to stretch. I should stretch more. I'm going to stretch more.
Stretch.
She hasn't stretched. I haven't seen a stretch.
I stretch at the gym.
Okay.
Also, Shanina and Georgia, what are the things you want to do physical fitness?
Okay. I
that
want to stretch more.
where the brain maybe says, oh, maybe I wanted to go boxing class, but I don't want to be judged or something.
Stretching is actually the perfect
Stretching.
example for me, because I often say out loud and think in my brain, I'm not flexible.
Yeah.
So it's like, and why is that? I mean, that's something my conscious mind knows I can train, but like I've never been flexible in my life. So it's like I just sort of, I feed that belief that will never be me. You know what I mean? So stretching's one.
Stretching.
Another one is meditation. I often say I'm a bad meditator, which means that I don't meditate. So
And even that, what you just said, that
I'm a bad
sentence tells
meditator.
me so much about you. And this is a huge misconception. And we might talk if
I would
later
love
if-
to talk about
yeah,
that.
meditation is so helpful. So please, if we have time,
Yes.
that will help everyone.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got weightlifting, we've got stretching, we've got meditation, healthy eating. I'm actually good at
Okay.
that.
She's
Yeah.
a biohacker.
Yeah, I'm a biohacker.
Both in the bio tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Do we need any more, or is that good?
Are there any things that you guys avoid that you would like to do, but the brain says you're not ready yet, you have too much anxiety, you shouldn't go there?
Meditation and stretching. Everything else
Okay,
I'm
great.
pretty happy.
Meditation,
So
weightlifting.
let's go to creative expression. Shanina,
The podcast.
that's what you're always doing to feed this podcast. That's right.
Journaling.
Journaling. Why is it creative expression for you?
I'm creative and I'm expressing my feelings.
Do you lie in your journal? Like,
I
how is
lie.
it creative?
Well, I guess no. Actually, let's think about this.
So I like journaling for getting clarity. You could get clarity about
I do. Yeah.
where things you want. But if you venting in your journal, which means if you're trying to make feelings feel better by journaling, let me show this. Feeling comes up
Yeah.
in Shanina,
Yeah.
and she's like, I want to fix this feeling. And let's say you actually go journaling,
Yes.
and the feeling is, you feel better, you feel relief. Your brain looks at this and is like, oh, Shanina, you just got happy through whatever, you did this journaling thing, you just got happy. I'm your best friend. I always want you to be happy.
Yeah.
What happened? Oh, I gave you this feeling of jealousy or uncomfortable feeling or insecurity, and you did whatever you did, this thing, you got happy. So the only thing for you to be happy, for me to do, is just give you more insecurity, more jealousy, because then you can do your favorite hobby again, which is fixing feelings, which is journaling.
Yeah.
So it seems like something good, and society is teaching that.
Yeah.
But, and I'm not against journaling. I'm just more about maybe clarity, like finding clarity through journaling of what it is, the solution or what you want.
Like with my journaling though, like sometimes I like drawing with it too.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah, I do that. And then also, I don't know, this is creative expression, like Pinterest mood boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Love
She
my
loves their Pinterest mood board.
I love the mood board.
Pinterest mood boards.
Yes.
I love it.
What else? Creative expression. My job, like content creating.
Content creating. Perfect.
Is that something that you feel that you do very well or something you want to improve at?
I want to improve at.
Yeah.
Content
For
creation?
me too.
Yeah.
And what do you want to grow? What direction do you want to go? What do you want to spend more time on?
I think like how it looks, you know, and that could be from like cameras or like what I'm wearing and the locations. So I'm always trying to just make it look and feel better and be authentically me.
And those I like that. The values underneath would be the authenticity, right? Part.
Yes, yeah.
But also you say, I want to look better. But you want to look better because it's more entertaining for the audience. And they have an easier time to watch the content. So it's actually an action of love for yourself, for the audience. You want to create more beautiful content.
Yes.
So we can always
It's like an art
see-
for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And making
good.
movies.
Making movies?
Yeah, like all the videos, like the content creating, like I edited all myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
On CapCut or
Splice.
Splice?
Yeah. Love
Okay,
that.
that's cool. So
Yeah.
content creating. I want people to know actually, a lot of people avoid putting their face on the internet and like sharing themselves. But content creation is actually such a great mental health exercise because there will be anxiety, there will be judgment, but by the little child will scream, no, they judge us, we're not ready yet. By you doing it over time, you are building trust in yourself.
This was Georgia and I, like we had such a fear with content creating in like showing face or doing it more.
I still do.
Yeah, I still do.
I'm
as
comfortable
well.
podcasting now, but I'm not comfortable making Instagram content and TikToks yet.
There is a stigma
But
around it.
I
I
wanna
don't
get
feel like
there.
I'm
But
good
can
enough.
you be not comfortable and do the valued actions? And that's why we want to be clear about the valued actions, because then we can proactively set them in our week at a certain time. And the brain can say at that time, but we don't feel ready yet. And you're like, oh, this is a great opportunity for me to practice not feeling ready yet, having a wrong feeling,
Yeah.
and do it anyway.
I agree.
I think it's going to be the major teaching exercise for us because we do really need to ramp it up. We have a lot of stuff that we want to talk about outside of the podcast that we want to make content about, especially to do with wellness. And we seem to talk about it a lot and it doesn't happen. So
I feel like
Yeah.
I've become better at it. I really like put myself, I was like, I'm going to get out this day and this day, like finding the routine to do it more.
I love that.
Yeah. So
That's proactively setting it. See, you are the boss, not the brain.
Yeah.
Oh, Shanina, you have these kind of feelings today. Oh, yeah, that's right, brain. We should just stay in bed. You're like, no, fuck it. I'm
Yeah.
going to do it.
yeah.
stop being a bitch. I'm a boss.
That's actually a tool.
Yeah.
That's a tool that I teach. You can
I've done this
please
before.
talk out loud to your brain. I talk out loud to my brain all the time.
I've done this too.
Do it in
Do it.
public.
We did it. I did
do it
it all the time.
even in public, you do
Yeah.
it inside of your head loud.
Yeah.
You can have a loud voice inside of your head. That's your voice.
Yeah.
When you run, the brain says, oh, but what about this view? No, brain, we're running right now. When you run, you run. When you walk, you walk. When you're on the restroom, you're on the restroom. You're not on the phone.
Yeah.
When you walk and the brain says, you're like, no, brain. Or but what about your ex? No, brain. We're doing this creative thing right now. And the more you cut it off, the more territory you take, the more you show your brain with your behavior that you don't care anymore about this. You care about the valued action.
So you
Yeah.
can cut out X's like from your brain.
Kind of. You make it you make
Yeah.
it you make it inactive. And that's
it's
what I
true.
teach in
Yeah.
the Heal Heartbreak video.
Yeah.
This is actually how you make so the biggest problem when people want to get over the X is the spending time in their head. Oh, it was your fault, is it my fault? Oh, did he betray you? Why did he betray you? Is you not good enough? The thoughts are gonna come in and but if you talk, yeah, what if I'm not good enough? Maybe I should wear better dresses, maybe, and then you're doing, so to say, positive things, maybe out of validation, which is still showing the brain that you love chasing validation. And because the brain knows you love chasing validation, the brain's like, I want to support you in this chasing validation thing. I know what I can give you. If I give you more feelings of insecurity, you do your favorite hobby, chasing more validation. The brain doesn't, we know chasing validation is not good for us. The brain doesn't know. The brain only supports you in what you spent your time on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So with the X, when we talk back, spend our time on that, the brain's like, she loves thinking about the X. She
Yeah.
loves talking. Oh my God, look at all the toys I give her about the X. And she's like checking his Instagram.
Oh, yeah,
She's
yeah.
chasing you. She's
Everything.
stalking him. Maybe like,
Yeah.
she's doing outside behavior because we can have inside behavior inside of her head and outside behavior. She's following him to work.
Yeah.
She's watching his Instagram, and you're spending
Bloody
more
hope
time.
not.
And then the brain's like, when you wake up the next day, here's your favorite thoughts again about your ex.
See?
First thing you think about. Yeah.
First, this is one of the
Making me
biggest
sick.
thing I teach this to my clients all the time. First thing in the day is the most. Sleep is a reset. First thing in the day to start your. If you start your day with compulsions, you're gonna continue your day with compulsions. If you start your day ruminating, your brain's like, oh, this is what we're doing all day. This is super great.
Yep.
If the brain says, oh, check the phone, check Twitter, check X, check Instagram, check whatever, and you do it. Because, oh no, there's some interest. You identify with thought, oh yeah, I'm interested about that. And you grab the phone, you are a slave to the brain. You are training reactivity, which is very close to ADHD because you're losing focus.
Yep.
ADHD is following, I forgot about forgetfulness. It's impulsiveness to your emotions, impulsiveness to your thoughts.
Yep.
You can recover from ADHD with this. You can recover from a breakup with this because you are showing the brain. The language of the brain is behavior. You're showing your brain with your behavior, inside and outside of your head, that you don't care about the ex anymore by not venting about him anymore, by not checking his Instagram anymore. I like to give a hack to my clients, which is literally block them everywhere because it makes it harder at least to do the compulsions.
Yeah.
And then
I do that.
you focus
Yeah.
and then
do
you
that.
focus on these
Yeah.
valued actions. But if you isolate yourself and you talk to your friends all the time about the breakup and you don't do anything, you lose all the confidence because you don't show your brain that you value yourself, because you can only show your brain that you value yourself if you do the things that you value. You guys doing this podcast is showing yourself that you value yourself. It's giving you self-worth
Big time.
because you're
Yeah,
showing your brain
absolutely.
with your behavior. Yeah, this is something we do. The little child might have been screaming, "Oh no, but you know, you're a model, you're a DJ, you know, podcast. That's what are you doing? There's so much competition. What if people laugh at you? What if they think this and that?"
Yeah.
Right?
The child did scream, but
Exactly.
we fought
And-
back.
Yeah. We did have those conversations.
It's
like
supposed
when
to
we were
scream.
judged.
It's supposed to scream.
Yeah.
And hate it. You also don't want to hate on the child because that's also engaging. You want to be like, that's okay, child. And we mindfully doing this. And over time, you trust yourself. You get stronger. You be more confident.
And the child trusts you.
the child trusts you.
Yeah. Now we feel
Namaste.
very comfortable about it, but really we were there, as I'm sure every podcaster was before
Yeah.
they got started.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
can speak from experience now.
Yeah.
And then you can take this, and the next time you have something with the new content creation that you have now, where the brain's like, oh no, but this is something different. You're like, I did this before. I just have to be okay with the wrong feelings and do more valued actions. Like we talked about before the podcast, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to take up more territory.
Yes.
And a lot of people are like, oh, I did compulsions again. I messed everything up. I have a great analogy for that, actually. Let's say you go to the gym. You say, I want to go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And you go Monday and Wednesday. And then Friday, you're like, yeah, I'm tired. You drink alcohol. You eat cake. And on Saturday, you wake up and you're like, damn, I fucked everything up. I might as well stop. Did you get stronger? Yes, you did, because you went Monday and Wednesday. Now, okay, Friday, you went a little step back. Cool. But if you go Monday and Wednesday again, and even if you don't go any other days, if you continue going, you get stronger. We just want to add more healthy patterns
Yes.
and make it messy.
Yeah.
Don't try to make it clean, because especially a lot of people with OCD are like, no,
Yeah.
my plate is not clean anymore. I have to restart on something. I have to heal my trauma first. I need to clean this up. I need to do this.
Yeah.
Trying to you heal your trauma by doing the actions, accepting uncomfortable emotions.
Yep.
Not by reading another
absolutely.
book about it.
Yeah, that really resonates.
You
with
like
me.
reading books.
I love reading books, though. Look, only because I found that a really unhealthy pattern I got into was watching a ton of television. So books became my alternative to television. So even though I'm reading a ton of books, I'm not reading them to heal. I'm reading them to learn, which I think is
Yeah.
a really positive thing.
It's great to read
Yeah.
books. And then either we read science fiction to enjoy it,
Yeah.
but when we use self-help, we want to use the tools. Not
Yes.
just, okay, nice, I'm so productive. I read a book.
Yes.
And now, no, I want to start my podcast. I just read another book because I need more information. Because if I
Yeah.
get more information, I have more perfection, and then I cannot get judged when I start my podcast. I need more control.
Yeah.
It's the control and safety that people are seeking.
And the perfectionism.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's been a big thing for me in the past. And that does apply to some extent with books I've kind of bought a book and gone, oh, well, after I read this book, I'll give it a go. You know what I mean? But I think I do that less now. Now I'm just reading for enjoyment and to learn. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about romantic relationships.
Yeah.
Okay.
So romantic relationships. So your creative expression is also podcast.
Okay, so I'll bang it out quickly. Podcast, content creation. I want to get a lot better at it. DJing. I'm a DJ. And making music.
DJ. Is there anything you guys want to do? You already said that. But that you want to do, but the brain says you're not ready yet.
For me, that's content creation. But I did just think of one more. I want to do more live speaking events.
Live speaking events. I love it.
Yeah.
And what is the brain saying?
The brain's saying.
Mine's acting.
Yeah, yours is acting.
Acting, love it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
See, you found something where the brain said,
You're like, what is it?
what is the brain saying for acting for you and live speaking events? So you use it saying, uncertainty, or what if I get judged, or
Uncertainty, maybe not good enough.
love it. Okay.
For me, speaking I'm super comfortable with, so it's not that. But content creation is the one that's still, which is, I know, so weird since we have a podcast, but that's the one that really scares me.
What's the brain saying?
Saying, no, you're not good at it. No one's going to care. You're not going to get any engagement. It's not going to be pretty enough or aesthetically pleasing.
I love it.
Yeah, terrified.
So what I want you guys to say, instead of my thoughts, can you guys say, and this is a great tool for the people to use at home, the thoughts.
The
The thoughts say, what do they say? The brain says, or the thoughts say? Go ahead.
The thoughts say, I'm not good enough, that I have anxiety when I create content.
The thoughts say,
the thoughts.
I have anxiety. There's anxiety, yeah.
Yep. And
The thoughts say that no one will care. The thoughts say it won't be polished enough, pretty enough. And yeah.
Okay. The thoughts say, I'm not good enough. Not you, not good enough. Not at all, right? Has nothing to do with you. Bashar actually says, the existence doesn't make mistakes. So you must be good enough because existence doesn't make mistakes. But the thoughts, the pattern comes from somewhere in the childhood or your parents or people. So you don't have to fix that right now. You can have the thought, I'm not good enough, and you do the acting anyway, mindfully, and cut off the thoughts when they come in. You just do more of the actions that support your acting career. Same thing with you. You do more of the actions while not feeling good enough, while feeling the feeling of insecurity. And what will happen over time, you will actually show your brain with your behavior that you're good enough.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I believe that's
Yeah.
true. You said before, don't talk back to your brain when
That's
your
right.
brain talks to you. What does that look like? Can you paint that picture? Like
Well-
an intrusive thought comes in and do you just say, no, brain, not today, I'm going to the gym?
Yes, and the importance here is the gym or any valued action you
Yeah.
have, because you want to have a new GPS. We talk about changing from the emotional addictive engine to the valued action engine.
Yep.
Changing from being reactive to emotions and thoughts to the valued action engine. Because if you think about, how do I fix this thought? You're still engaging with the thought.
Yes. Yeah.
You're still on the thought.
I
Yes.
see. Yeah.
But if you bring your focus back to that, the beautiful thing is our body has intelligence. Our brain has intelligence. It will process it by itself. If we leave it alone, you guys probably heard about it before, the concept of we just have to get out the way. We're doing too much. We're trying too hard. And trying to fix it and trying to always talk about it and spend time on it is just telling the brain, more of it. Give you a great example. Let's say you eat a strawberry. And you're like, listen, stomach, today, I'm going to make the decision where the stomach goes. And your stomach's like, what the fuck? I've been doing this for you for 20-something years,
Yeah.
okay? You don't even know what an enzyme is. You don't even know you don't even have a good relationship with the bloodstream like I have.
Yeah.
Like we've been me and the bloodstream been talking for 20 years. The enzymes, we like buddies. And you telling me, you don't even know where no, I'm telling you, I know where it's better go. And I'm going in my body, you probably hurt yourself a lot, right?
Yeah.
So why are we trying to do this with the brain? Why are we trying to go into the brain and be like, thought, I fix you, emotions, I fix you. Can we let the intelligence of our body do it?
Stay in your lane.
Us, yeah, so to say.
Yeah.
Because there's a part of you that knows best.
Yeah.
But then, can we bring our focus back to what we want to spend our time on? What do we care about in life? Because a lot of people in their lives waste time with fixing feelings, healing trauma, trying to do self-help addiction. They spent more time trying to get ready than actually doing the things they love to do.
Yeah.
And what my mission is, what I want people, and this is the biggest thing, I want people to do the things they want to do. Because living your life is the biggest exposure exercise. Because you guys following your dreams, there will be patterns coming up. The child will come up screaming, but then it's how are we reacting to the child? Are we identifying with the child? Oh no. Are we identifying with the child? I'm not good enough. I'm not ready yet. Because then we're feeding those patterns. Or we're like, I'm your adult now. I'll take care of you, my little child, my baby, and I'll take you to those experiences and you will learn that we are good enough.
I love that.
Does it make sense?
Oh,
So good.
this is such an
Your
awesome
inner child.
Yeah, this is such an awesome way of explaining it all, and also an awesome practice that you've created. Like this to me seems super effective.
Well, I didn't create it. I like made it my own, but it's based on, well, it's okay, kind of. Because I took, I was Abraham Hicks spirituality. I'm taking a lot of things together into my teachings. But this is acceptance. A big part of it is acceptance and commitment therapy, if people want to look it up at home, and exposure and response prevention therapy. But then as well, like I always say, the people, if they are even therapists for that, if they just went to school and just got the information, if they don't practice the tools, they don't know how this works and they cannot efficiently teach these things. You can only teach these things if you've done them. It's the thing that I'm always saying. You can read any book. Mark Freeman actually said this. You can read any book about physical fitness, about going to the gym.
Yeah.
You can know anything. But if you never lift a weight, how strong are you going to be?
Yeah.
Amen.
You know?
So you have to find people who actually practice these.
You practice yourself. And a big thing is meditation, other things. So I'm sure a lot of people want to know about romantic relationships.
Okay,
how
we should get through these categories and then talk about it, because I feel like we keep getting sidetracked by all this wonderful information.
Romantic relationships.
All right, go, Shanina.
Oh, me.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But I got to give you some preface for that.
Okay.
This is, for people at home, it doesn't matter if you're in a romantic relationship or not. This question is about if you were in a relationship or if you are in a relationship, what do you want to spend your time on with your partner and valued actions? Because a lot of people, and this is what I teach a lot about relationships, they're not in a relationship because they actually care about their partner. They actually don't love their partner. They love the way their partner makes them feel.
Yeah, okay.
So they actually care about, it's a lot of emotional addiction. They're chasing a lot of emotional addiction and they think their partner is responsible to fix their feelings. And then their partner becomes another drug addiction. And mostly it's one part, like they're both intoxicated, like they're both doing compulsions. Like it's not, there's no relationship that is emotionally addicted where not both partners are doing these compulsions of trying to fix feelings, of doing hot and cold games. You know the hot and cold games. Oh, I text less than you to make you more curious and interested.
Playing games.
Which
we
is
know those
increasing.
games.
Which works on a lot of people because they identified with emotions and thoughts and they're reactive to these emotions and thoughts. So this is why this is so important. You can only be manipulated in a relationship if you are reactive to your patterns, if you are reactive to emotions and thoughts. I have clients, I have girls where their boyfriend, for example, knows if they make her guilty, if they say, you a bad girlfriend because of this, she tries to fix the feeling of guilt.
Yeah, that's a common
And does
one.
anything.
Yeah.
So if you don't have valued actions in a relationship to have a map in a direction, there's a big saying that's like, if you don't have intentions for your life, other people will make intentions for you.
Oop.
So that's why it's important to have these kind of valued actions. And if you're in a good partnership, at some point when you're close enough, not in the dating phase, maybe because you don't know each other that well, but when you're close enough, you want to actually set valued actions together that you want to spend. And it can be really simple. Like if both people love traveling, if they love going to the gym together, sex is a part of it, all of those things, creative expression, maybe they want to create a business together, maybe they love spending time at Starbucks or going to the gym, whatever it is together, right?
Having kids?
Huh? Having kids
Yeah.
together? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Getting
those
married?
things. Getting married, yeah, it's
Yeah.
also a
Okay.
value. It's your preference. Society always gives you, and we know all the red pill, and I like a lot of things about the red pill because they have some rational thinking over there. But a lot of this is like right or wrong. This is right or wrong. This is what you have to do. You have to live like this. A man has to be this. A woman has to be this. And with some of these, I agree, to keep our society, the majority of society, the family together, which is a healthy society. But at the end of the day, it's your life. It's your preference. It's your preference. Don't think, when you do these things, don't think, what does society want me to do to live a good life? It's what do you want to do? So
Romantic relationships.
Shanina, romantic relationships. Are you in a relationship or not?
Yes.
What do you already love spending time? And only what you want to share, by the way.
Okay,
What do you already love spending time on with your partner? What actions? What activities?
Like family time.
Nice. Family time? And what do you usually do family time? And that can be like as simple as spending time together, hanging out, but do you like chill at home? Do you go to the mall? Do you like to go skiing? Do you like to go
Family
travel
time,
together?
I love we like go to the park together.
Park.
Yeah.
Park. Love it. Okay. What do you love about the park? Is it the connection you built there? The nature? The spaciousness?
Yeah, like I love seeing the connection, like seeing everyone happy and having fun and joyful. Like we're all enjoying the time together. And then my
So
son.
that would also be on your fun.
Yeah.
And it would also be in your relaxation.
Yeah. I love that.
See how it all goes? Like you can have it double and triple?
Yeah.
So what
it
else?
feeds my soul. I love it. What else? Cuddling.
Cuddling.
Love it.
Cuddling. And do you like to travel with your family? Do you like
Yeah,
to
I like traveling
traveling?
to nice, like exotic beaches.
Exotic beaches? Okay, I love it.
I'm a
Love
beach.
beaches.
I'm a beach girl.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Guy.
Sex?
Sex.
She's just,
Sex.
Like, don't leave that
Oh,
off.
that was like someone screaming from the bar, like, gotta say sex, Shanina.
Yeah.
Say sex,
Oh,
Shanina.
I love going like dating, like going
Dating.
on
What? So
dinner
be
dates.
what actions? Be specific. What kind of, like, do you like restaurant? Do you like movies?
Restaurants, dinner dates.
Restaurant, dinner dates.
Glass of Shiraz and some nice pasta and some smooches. Cute.
Is that what we're doing tonight? We're going on a dinner date.
Supporting a healthy relationship for Shanina during the week to grow that garden.
Communication.
Communication.
It's lacking.
Okay.
I'm laughing and I made that
We're
joke.
going to talk about communication a little bit. What I want to say, we want to look at the value garden, right? Let me ask you guys something. When you look at these actions that we write down in the value garden, this is really two important questions that I always ask my clients at the end. What do you guys think is the water of the garden? How do we grow our garden? What's the water? It's very simple to answer. You guys probably overcomplicated. Some overcomplicated.
What feeds the water?
What is the water of the garden? How do we grow our values?
Self-love?
How do we grow our values of the garden?
I'm just taking a guess.
Action.
You can guess, of course.
Yeah.
Action is
Action
ding,
is
ding,
the
ding, ding,
answer.
ding.
Okay, okay.
Ding. You win $1 million.
Yes.
For that-
Hang on, am I right as well? Because like I feel like the underlying emotion behind action is self-love. Like I want my life to be better, so therefore I'm
Yeah.
gonna take action.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Let's say you
You're
don't-
wrong.
let's say around the corner someone has a bag with $1 million.
Yeah.
And you don't love yourself right
I'm
now.
out of
Right. Yeah.
You don't love yourself at all.
She
You're
just gone around the corner.
you have thoughts of not loving yourself. Can you go do the actions and grab the bag?
Okay, so
While
the
not loving
actions
yourself.
create the self-love. Maybe.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
It's reversed. People have it reversed.
Yeah.
People think I have to have love first. You have to show your brain that you love yourself by doing things that you
yeah.
value.
Makes
by
sense.
taking care of yourself, taking showers, doing things, healthy eating,
But your
by
patterns are gonna
supporting
tell you
yourself,
sometimes
showing
you
your
don't
brain
love
that you're
yourself.
important. Say that again.
Sometimes your patterns tell you don't love yourself.
Yeah.
That's right.
Going on
But you
dinner
don't
dates
react
with
to
your
the
best
patterns.
friend later.
Yeah.
Maybe having a smooch.
A smooch.
Shanina and I are going out for dinner after this to have pasta and Shiraz, which is
I
why I
love
keep
this.
cracking this joke.
Let me ask you this, both of you.
Yes.
Do you guys think your garden cares about your emotions and thoughts?
No. No, it cares about action.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Shanina, what's the answer? Same?
Yeah.
Right answer. Perfect. Now imagine $1 million. Imagine I'm your garden. I'm your guys' garden right now.
Yeah.
Okay? Hey, Shanina.
Hey, shawty.
Hey, shorty. What? Is that an inside joke?
Yeah, yes, it was
Okay, because I know that
Shawty's
think
in our group. Shawty's are friends.
shorty. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So your brain. So your garden calls you shorty.
There's
Okay.
a lot of inside
Yeah,
jokes in this
yeah.
episode. We should stop that. It's
No, that's
not
totally
inside
fine.
to anyone.
I'm gonna be in the circle now by saying
Yes.
I'm as your garden, shorty.
You don't have to say it. It's like,
Okay. Shanina, I'm your garden. If your garden calls you shorty, it'd be shorty. But Shanina, I'm your garden.
Shorty's
This is
garden.
good because you guys are laughing and you get kind of like the picture, the garden is right
Yeah.
here.
Oh, yeah.
So, Shanina, it's so cool that you're sitting on your bed and you have this thing called anxiety. I don't know what it is. It's cool that you have this feeling of anxiety and the feeling of and the thoughts of not being good enough to I don't know what it is, but have fun with it. But listen, can you see the garden of creative expression? Can you go to movies? Can you do the acting thing? Can you go to auditions? Because it's drying out right there, okay? Can you take the anxiety that you have, the thing, I don't care about it. It's just, but it's drying out. So take your anxiety and feed that. Even relationships, romantic relationships. Maybe you guys haven't been done a lot of times these things during the last weeks or months. And the garden's like, hey, Shanina, it's great that you've done all those like busy other things and you just like now scrolling on TikTok and but see the garden of romantic relationship. Can you do some more exotic beaches and sex and restaurant dinner? So adding those things proactively during the weeks is so important to feed over all the patterns. Now while you're going, if there's the feeling of not feeling like it or anxiety, it doesn't matter. You show your brain, we go anyway and focus mindfully on just having that experience because that's part of emotional fitness. But adding that is adding water to that garden and is supporting your relationship. To the acting is supporting the acting. Does that make sense? So your garden doesn't care about your emotions and thoughts. That doesn't mean we don't care about your emotions and thoughts. Again, some people say, oh, you're suppressing emotions and thoughts. The paradox here is by actually doing the valued actions while accepting. It's accepting. It's not suppressing. It's not expressing. It's accepting. We allow the emotions to be there.
Yep.
We're not trying to fix them. We're not trying to control them. They're allowed to be there, and we focus mindfully on the things we want to spend our time on. By doing that, paradoxically, we actually build a better relationship with the emotions.
Yeah.
But the thing that many people teach, like venting, oh, you need to vent, or you need to, at the therapist session, tell everything about the past thing there. By trying
venting?
to fix the feelings, by venting, you're hurting your mental health.
Yeah, because isn't it like your brain doesn't know the difference between you actually going through the experience and you thinking about it because it's just reliving it.
Yeah, you show your brain that you want more of it because you spend your time on it.
Yeah.
And
Like,
women vent a lot.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
just like to sit on the couch. We like to go on dinner dates and drink our wine and vent about. And I think for most of us and myself, or what I've learned is like venting and talking about it is healing it, but it's not.
No, and the more you vent, the more it becomes an addiction. The more you need to vent.
Yeah. you're
The more
addicted to
every
it.
time a feeling comes up, oh, call Lisa, call Georgia, call Shanina. I need to get rid of this feeling. And is there really a friendship or a friendship based on fixing feelings?
Yeah. Don't look at me.
I'm thinking.
I just heard a lot of feelings. I feel like
Because I'm the one.
We're going to be in silence
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm the one that she vents to and she's the one that I vent to. And I'm just thinking, what
But
the
you
fuck
guys
are we going to talk about
also
at dinner?
supporting yourself each other with a podcast. So
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
also
what are you
carrying.
doing? Yeah.
today. Cool. Bye.
That'll be it.
No.
Yeah.
So this will be the new thing. What do you
Yeah.
guys want to talk about? What do you guys want to spend your time on talking
This?
about? What are your interests?
Positive
What do you care
stuff.
about?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to talk about feeding my garden.
Yeah. We
And
can talk about our
You
gardens
guys supporting
more.
each other, super great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Romantic relationships, Georgia?
Yes. So I'm not currently in a romantic relationship, but if I was in my ideal romantic relationship, it would be talking, communicating. That would be the first one. Doing adventurous stuff together would be another one. Going out for dinner, like spending quality time that way. Sex, obviously. I would like to get married one day. I would like to have a child or two. Probably physical fitness, working out, socializing with other friends, like other couples and stuff, and just having fun together. You know, just doing like fun things together.
So for you right now, it would be because you want a partner.
Yes.
So you want to ask yourself, okay, and this is so great to have because you see what is your ideal life like and your values, what do you care about, what you love, you spend your time on. And then if you go out and spend your time on those things, a lot of times you meet other people who have similar values.
Yeah.
And then if you choose events that are based on your values, based on your interests, and then if you share yourself in a way that you value instead of sharing yourself in a way based on patterns, that's also deeper, where maybe someone is on a date and they're like, oh no, I can say that I love Pokemon cards, or I have a feeling of embarrassment right now if I say this. Then you react into your patterns and the person cannot get to know the real you. And then it's not really maybe two people who fitting each other, if that makes sense.
That makes
so it's
a lot of
also
sense.
a practice to share yourself in a way that you value and not based on your patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 7 categories, and like I feel like we've spoken so much, you know, and in such depth on each category.
Yeah. We don't have to actually go through all of it.
I would
This is
love
for
to, but just
for the
I'm mindful of
time-wise,
everyone's time.
yeah.
So what are the other categories, and then people can fill it out at home.
fun, and some of these categories will be double and triple.
Yep.
So fun,
Yep.
business/money,
Yep.
creative expression,
Yep.
which we already have, physical fitness,
Yep.
family relationships,
Yep.
and romantic relationships,
Yep.
and the last one, relaxation.
Yeah.
So relaxation could be mindful walking, whatever's relaxing to you. Maybe hanging out with your friends is relaxing to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you insert the most impactful things into your week, but also the things that you want to grow, the things that you haven't done yet, and you want to grow, and you do them with the wrong feeling.
Yeah.
Even if the feeling comes up, I'm not ready yet, I'm not good enough, you start doing them step by step. You don't have to like use this big chunk and see this big mountain. Really, those goals are based on like small steps.
Yeah.
Maybe Shanina is, make an acting reel, or connect with some people, or go take an improv class.
Yep.
Those are actions that support that. And you can go do that with the feeling of uncertainty. But it already shows your brain, we're doing this.
I love that.
So that's why this is so important. And this all brings us to the heartbreak question. That
Hey,
now
heartbreak
back.
question.
Which, by
See?
the way, was meant to just be an example, not this huge climax. But anyway. Yeah.
So, by people, and this is in the heartbreak video that I have on my YouTube, we need to stop spending time inside of a head on the thoughts. We need to stop spending time outside of a head on checking the Instagram and checking, right?
And we should
Thing with
block
them.
everything. Or it helps.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, it supports
it
it.
helps. There's some cheat codes that you can use to make it harder to do a compulsion. It's harder to unblock it, at least a little bit, right? So I would say, block it. And then change from the emotional addictive engine, trying to fix the heartbreak, trying to fix the emotions, because all that you will just do, I want to get rid of the loneliness. Let me go on Tinder, another compulsion. Let me go on Tinder, get rid of the loneliness. Guess what teaches that the brain? You love fixing loneliness. Let me give you more loneliness.
Right.
You love fixing loneliness. That's your hobby. And then more venting, more Tinder. And you like get in a spiral of wasting your life trying to fix emotions instead of building emotional fitness. So we need to change the GPS, like GPS in the car, to the valued actions. And like I said, this is not suppressing emotions. You will actually understand that by focusing mindfully on the valued actions and practicing the skill of being able to have any emotions while doing it, will build emotional fitness and a better relationship with your emotions. So it is the healthy way. And it's not, and a lot of people, because a lot of people, there are some people who want to stay in their kind of like suffering realm, and they might comment on my post, but I like venting, it like gives me relief, and I want to keep venting. You don't understand, this is good for my mental health. It's bad for your mental health, but you'll figure it out. I mean, I'm not even telling people, don't believe me. Don't believe me. I don't care if you believe me. If you do this, I have thousands of people that I work with who have tens of thousands of people on my Instagram and my TikTok who done these things, who have a total different life because they changed the engines. So don't even believe me. Try it out. But really, you cannot say, oh, I tried it out one day, because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So
It's like fitness. It's like saying going to the gym and your personal trainer, I want to have a 6-pack or 8-pack in one day. And he looks at you like, you have diabetes, you're totally fucking fat. Like, this is not going to work. Like, you need months. And this is the same thing. We trained the unhealthiness for months by spending time on fixing feelings, on the patterns. Now we're going to train healthier patterns. But you will see differences. You will see in weeks and months.
So what you're saying is, if rather than leaning into that emotion through venting, through checking Instagram, like whatever it is, feeding it, focus on valued action.
Rather than fixing the emotion and trying to control the emotion, and especially don't make the emotion wrong, we are human beings. We have emotions. Because as soon as you make the emotion wrong, as soon as you're trying to fix it, you teach the brain, you love fixing, you love engaging with it, and the brain over time will give you more opportunities to fix emotions. So, I'm a human being, I have emotions, but ask yourself the question, right now, what do I want to spend my time on? What do I want to spend my time on? I do want to spend my time on living my life.
Yeah.
I do want to spend my time on hanging out with my friends. I can have anxiety while hanging out with my friends, and I can focus and act in a way that I value. I can go to the gym. I can do my podcast. I can do the acting, and I can have feelings while doing those things.
Even though my brain is telling me I do want to spend time focusing on my challenging emotion, no, I want to focus on those things.
Well, of course, your brain, this is the way it sucks you in. Because your brain has a data bank and knows exactly what you react to.
Yeah.
It knows exactly, maybe you got abandoned by your mom. You react to abandonment issues.
Yeah.
So when the breakup happened, you get more of those. And no, we need to get him back. We need to get him back.
Yep. And it gives you more of that.
And you get
feeds
into
it.
that emotional addiction.
Yep.
Most relationships are really, nowadays, in more of the modern cities, emotional addictive relationships. It's not two people, two partners on the same team. It's two enemies fighting for feelings, trying to get the power in the relationship, trying to get the feeling of love, sucking it out of the other person. It's not actually two people on a team caring about each other, doing valued actions to support each other.
Yeah.
And those relationships, the feeling of love will still be there.
Yeah.
The same feelings are there, but it's not this emotional, addictive, drug addiction, back and forth, hot and cold game to manipulate, to suck feelings based on fears. You only trying to fix, and you will have different relationships when you change your brain. This changes your brain because your brain's language is behavior. By changing your behavior inside and outside of your head, you changing your brain, and guess what's changing as well? Your addictions. You don't have those addictions anymore. And then you will be, this is the funny part, you will be attracted to different people. I used to be attracted to bad girls, like not like good girls.
Be attracted to bad boys.
And
Did
I,
you? Yeah.
And I wasn't.
Probably still am.
And I was also
Damn it.
At least you're honest.
And I was also doing compulsions.
Yeah.
But when I changed my mental health, I'm now attracted to different women. And some people are like, but am I then not attracted to them? No, you're still, it feels like the same attraction. But it's a healthy relationship based on valued actions and not based on fixing feelings.
I love that.
I
Yeah,
know.
that roadmap makes all the sense to me now.
That makes
Does it make sense?
I'm
Yeah.
writing
It's not, it's hard for me to explain all of this, of course, in 90 minutes,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of this, but I'm trying my best to simplify it. And even the more, people say the more they watch my videos, the more they get like then the picture, oh, this side makes sense now.
Yeah.
But it's all this foundational thing of, Are you a reactive to emotions and thoughts?
Yeah.
Or are you proactively living your life? Are you showing your brain, that little child, what you care about and what you want to spend your time on? And the only thing that's in the way of many people of doing that is they don't want uncomfortable emotion, and they got taught that uncomfortable emotions are wrong, you need to fix them, which actually causes more mental health problems and more uncomfortable emotions. But if you're able to do valued actions with the uncomfortable emotions, you will actually build emotional fitness. You will be calmer over time, you will be happier, and by the way, you will feel more comfortable emotions over time. Because you're dropping, your brain is a very effective organ. It will only use what you use.
Yeah.
So over time, if you don't use spending time on the old patterns, spending time on the ex, thinking about them, spending time on the I'm not good enough, that's why I'm not doing the podcast. If you do the podcast anyway, your brain's like, hey, I'm a very effective organ. I'm bougie, okay? Look at me. I'm a genius brain thing right here, okay? I've been giving you these dangerous feelings for months now. I know you feel uncomfortable. You're not using them. You're just living your life. You go to beaches, you go traveling, you have dinner with you do this podcast, you do acting. I'm effective, I'm efficient. I'm not giving you these things anymore. This is a waste of my time. Let's focus on living our lives here. This is actually more fun. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes so much sense. It's funny that you said, I don't know if I can get this across in 90 minutes. I feel like you've explained it actually very clearly, and I've learned a lot.
Amazing tools. I'm definitely going to do this and start this practice tonight.
I
Me
love
too.
that.
Yeah.
We can do it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Star Jessie Taylor, you're amazing. We've learned so much today. Now, I'm assuming, is your Instagram handle or your TikTok handle Star Jessie Taylor?
Yeah, everything. YouTube,
Awesome.
Instagram, TikTok, Star Jessie Taylor. You find me there.
Amazing. Fantastic. Thank you for joining us
You're
today.
welcome.
you.
You guys are amazing. It was
Appreciate
fun.
it.
Yeah.
It really
Loved
was.
it.
Thank you.